Hello students, hope you have gone through my last video and you might have understood all the concepts which I have made you to simplify it in a good way. So today I will be continuing with the concepts which we discussed in the last session. So we were discussing about the bond displacement. Okay, so bond displacement or bond polarization. So the bond displacement, I have already explained the types of effects which can be explained, which will explain the bond displacement or bond polarization concept. So there are few permanent effects and few temporary effects, and I have already given you the list of all the effects that can be considered as permanent and temporary. So first we will be discussing about the permanent effects. In permanent effect, first I will be giving you about inductive effect. Inductive effect. So let us take what is inductive effect and how the polarization of bond can be seen with respect to inductive effect, and what type of bond can be polarized and that can be considered as inductive effect. Let us see. So inductive effect, for example, I already told you that bond polarization in the sense bond should be polarized. For example, if I am taking CH3, CH2, 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 Cl, chlorobutane, the simplest example I am giving you. So with respect to this, we know chlorine is more electronegative compared to carbon. So as a result, chlorine will withdraw, or it has more tendency to attract this electron towards itself, and it gets a partial negative charge. And because of that, the carbon will get a partial positive charge. Why it is getting a partial positive? Because chlorine is more electronegative, so it is taking these shared electrons more, it is attracting this shared electron towards itself. As a result, it is getting negative charge and carbon is getting positive charge. So polarity is developed over here, and this bond over here is nothing but the single bond. So all single bonds are sigma bonds. We already know, we have already studied in chemical bonding chapter that all single bonds are sigma bonds. So due to this polarization of sigma bonded electrons, polarity is developed over here. So due to this partial positive charge, electron density will be very less at this carbon. As a result, it withdraws some of its electrons towards itself from the adjacent carbon, that is the second carbon. As a result, it develops a partial positive charge, but the positive charge on this carbon will be much lesser compared to the first carbon. As a result, similarly, when you take, this is again electron deficient but less electron deficient compared to this carbon, first carbon. Why it is more electron deficient? Because chlorine is directly attached to this carbon. As a result, it withdraws more electrons from this first carbon. But this first carbon, which is most electron deficient, you can say, which withdraws electrons, single bonded electron, is sigma bonded electrons from the adjacent carbon, that is second carbon. As a result, it develops a partial positive charge, but the positive charge on this is much lesser. And similarly, the same you can see with respect to the second carbon also. Second carbon also withdraws electrons from the bonds adjacent to the third. So as a result, it develops a partial positive charge, but it is much lesser compared to the second carbon. And this polarity which you are observing over here, that is the polarity is developed. Polarity is nothing but development of positive and negative charge. So this positive and negative charge is developed over here due to the polarization of, that means the polarity of this sigma bond you are observing due to polarization of this sigma bond. If there would not have been any chlorine over here, there would not have been any polarity. So because of the chlorine presence over here, you will be observing polarity. So due to the polarity of this sigma bond, that is this particular sigma bond, the polarity will be developed on the whole molecule. And you can ask me that why it is not going beyond this third carbon. So this is very, very important with respect to inductive effect, that inductive effect can be seen only till the third carbon. That is, the effect of this chlorine can be seen only till third carbon, because this is because of the delocalization of sigma bond. So how can you define inductive effect now? Inductive effect is the polarity produced due to polarization of one sigma bond adjacent to the other sigma bond, or in simple words you can say the polarity produced in a molecule due to delocalization of sigma bonded electrons. So I am writing that polarity produced in a molecule due to delocalization delocalization of sigma bonded electrons. Okay, so this is the simplest definition which you can give for inductive effect. Now let us categorize this inductive effect. So depending upon so what is happening here, this chlorine is taking the electrons over here. So as a result, it can be considered as a electron withdrawing group. That means it is taking, because of its more electronegative nature, it is taking these shared electrons towards itself. So this can be considered as electron withdrawing group. And on the other hand, carbon over here is giving its shared electrons to the chlorine. As a result, it can be considered as a electron donating group. So depending upon the electron donating and withdrawing behavior, the inductive effect can be categorized into two types. The first one is plus inductive effect. Plus inductive effect, that is plus I effect. And second one is minus inductive effect, that is minus I effect. So basically, I have told you that depending upon the electron withdrawing and donating behavior, inductive effect is of two types. So let us consider what are the groups which can be considered, which can be categorized under in plus inductive effect. In plus inductive effect, all are electron donating groups. Electron donating groups, EDG, you can consider. And whereas in minus I effect, the groups which can be considered under minus I effect are electron withdrawing groups. That is EWG, you can consider. So let us take examples for electron donating groups and electron withdrawing groups. Electron donating group, that is plus I groups. Plus I groups are all alkyl groups. All alkyl groups. Alkyl groups can be considered as plus I groups. Examples: methyl, ethyl, butyl, etc. These all are electron donating groups. Whereas minus I groups, that are withdrawing groups, they are NO2 nitro group, all C and cyano group, then all C double bond O functional groups. So what are the functional groups which can be considered with C double bond OH? That is carboxylic acid functional group, ester functional group, ketone functional group, and aldehydic functional group. This can be considered as minus I groups. And along with this, pH, that is aromatic ring, can also be considered as minus I group. So all the alkyl groups are examples for plus I groups, and all the nitro groups, cyano, carboxylic, that is C double bond O functional groups, all are considered as minus I groups. So let us discuss in detail about how these groups will affect different behaviors of different compounds. So that can be studied under the heading applications of inductive effect. So there are two major applications of inductive effects which I will be going to discuss now. So let us discuss. The first one is, there are two applications just now I told you. The first one is acidic nature of carboxylic acids, and the second one is stability of carbocation or carbonium ion. First, let us discuss about the first application of inductive effect. So hope you are understanding all these concepts. You please, if you have any doubts related to any of the topics, that can be with respect to the last week topic or today's topic, you please comment in the comment box with your doubts, and also don't forget to share and like this particular video if you understood the concepts. So let us discuss about the applications now. Applications of inductive effects. So there are two major applications just now I told you. The first application is applications of inductive effect. First application is A, I am categorizing is A, that is acidity or acidic nature of carboxylic acids. Okay. So we know what are carboxylic acids, the compounds which are with C double bond OOH functional group can be considered as carboxylic acids, and these all are organic acids, we already know that. So R C double bond, R is the alkyl group, so this is the functional group which will be present in carboxylic acid. So when we take what is an acid, we have I think you might have studied about the acids and bases, that is the concept of acids and bases in ionic equilibrium. So what is an acid? Basically a substance which when dissolved in water, or a substance which donates a proton when dissolved in water, can be considered as a Bronsted acid. So carboxylic acids when dissolved in water, we can say this is an acid and water is neutral over here. So this donates a proton to this and it gets converted to R C double bond O minus plus H3O plus hydronium ion. So H plus will be donated to water and water gets converted to hydronium ion, and carboxylic acid will get converted to carboxylate ion. Carboxylate ion. So the tendency of a substance to donate a proton can be considered as acidic behavior. If a substance is more easily donating a proton, then it is considered as a stronger acid, and if it is taking more time, that is the rate of such reaction will be very less. So if it is taking more time to donate a proton, then that is considered as a weaker acid. So basically carboxylic acids are stronger organic acids, you can consider. So let us take how these carboxylic acids can be considered as acidic in nature and why they are behaving as acidic, how they can donate the proton over here. So for example, if I am taking, I will be explaining it with respect to a best example, that is I am taking alkyl group as CH3, C double bond OH. So when we take this, and it is a reversible reaction because it can be again gives back the carboxylic acid and water. So before going to make you understand this particular concept, let us take acetic acid or ethanoic acid. So if a substance that is considered as acetic acid, if it is donating the proton more easily than it will be a stronger acid. Now what type of group is CH3? I have already told you that CH3 is an electron donating group. Since it is an electron donating group, it will donate electrons, and as a result electron density at C double bond O will increase. So as a result, C double bond O is a withdrawing group, and lone pair which is present on the oxygen. See here, C double bond O is withdrawing the electrons from the CH3 because CH3 is a donating group. So electron density at this particular C double bond O carbonyl carbon will be very high. When electron density at this particular carbon is high, it takes very less electrons from this particular oxygen. Okay. So when electron density on this particular carbon is more, it is taking very less electrons towards itself because it is already having more electron density. So electron density on this oxygen will be will be more. Why it is more? Because it is not giving its lone pair electrons to carbon. As a result, it is not taking. So basically when you take OH, so this hydrogen should be lost as a proton. If it has to be lost as a proton, okay, so it has to be lost as a proton means these electrons should be taken by oxygen. Oxygen will take these bonded electrons towards itself only when electron density at this oxygen will be less. So always remember, when the electron density at a carbon is less, it tries to take the electrons. When the electron density at a particular atom is more, it will not take the electrons, or it will take very less electrons. So as a result, when you take electron density at this carbon is more because it is taking electrons from methyl group. As a result, electron density on this oxygen will not be given to carbon. So electron density on this particular oxygen will be more. As a result, these bonded electrons will not be taken by oxygen and proton donation becomes very difficult. So you can write it here, loss of proton H plus is not easy. When it is not easy, when CH3 group, what type of group is CH3 plus I group? Now let us take the same with respect to an electron withdrawing group. So I am taking over here CH2 C double bond OH, same, but there is a withdrawing group NO2 I am taking. So now NO2 is a electron withdrawing group. We already know that it is one of the strongest electron withdrawing group. When this NO2 is taking the electron density, what happens to the electron density at CH2? It will decrease. So you can consider it is getting a partial positive charge. So electron density at CH2 carbon is decreasing. So as a result, what it will do? It will withdraw the electron density from adjacent carbon, that is C double bond O carbon. So what happens now? The electron density at this C double bond O will decrease. As a result, what happens when electron density at this C double bond O decreases? It will withdraw the electrons from oxygen. When it will withdraw the electron from oxygen, so that I am writing as it will withdraw the electron from oxygen. So when it will withdraw the electron from oxygen, it gets converted to, I am getting a new structure over here, CH2 C double bond O, O bond H, and you will get a positive charge here. Why you will be getting a positive? This bonded electron, this lone pair will form a bond. So this bond is formed due to the two electrons which are present on oxygen, which is donated to C double bond. So oxygen gets a partial positive charge here. It gets a positive charge because it has donated the electron pair. So now oxygen gets a positive charge. We know oxygen is the second most electronegative atom. So if it is second most electronegative atom, positive charge on oxygen is very unstable. So what it will do now? It will withdraw the electrons. So it is already electron deficient. So what it will do? It will withdraw the electrons from the OH bond. As a result, what happens? These electrons will be gained and oxygen will get neutralized over. And basically, when it is shifting over here, it will be, see here, when it is shifting over here, it will be delocalized towards this oxygen. As a result, it gets a negative charge. So basically, this oxygen is getting negative charge, this oxygen is getting positive charge. So now, if this oxygen is with positive charge, so it will withdraw these electrons towards itself and proton can be easily donated. And what it will be changing to? It will be changed to NO2 CH2 C bond O minus double bond O plus H plus, that is proton is donated over here. So whenever NO2 group or electron withdrawing group, so it is and minus I group you can consider. Whenever a minus I group is attached to a compound, what is happening here? Proton donation is becoming very easy. So basically we can say when a proton donation becomes easy, so it can be considered as a more acidic in nature. So when electron donating groups or plus I groups are there, loss of proton is not easy. So you can consider it as less acidic in nature. Whenever a minus I group or electron withdrawing groups are present, what is happening? Proton donation becomes easy. So I am writing here loss of proton is easy. So I can write here as, so I am writing over here, so I can write here as more acidic nature. So basically at the end we can say that minus I groups or electron withdrawing groups are going to increase the acidic nature of compounds, that is carboxylic acids, and plus I groups are going to decrease, or it will increase the acidic nature but to a lesser extent you can consider. So let us take this with respect to few examples. So basically first application is what? Acidic nature of carboxylic acids. In acidic nature of carboxylic acids, I'm revising it once again. What is it? Minus I groups increases the acidic nature, plus I groups decreases the acidic nature. Okay, now let us take this with respect to an example, different examples. So plus I groups decreases the acidic nature, minus I groups increases the acidic nature. So let us take with different examples. So you might have understood these all examples. So let us take with different examples. So basically, if I'm giving you different examples, question I am giving you, arrange the following compounds in increasing or ascending order of their acidic nature. So first one is, so I am giving you an example, that is basically with respect to a question. Arrange the following compounds in increasing order of their acidic nature. So first is, so I will be giving you around 4 to 5 examples. First one is CH3, CH2, C double bond O, OH. First example. Second example is CH3, CHNO2, C double bond O, OH. And third one is CH3, CHF, C double bond O, OH. Fourth one CH3, CHF, CF2 you can consider, C double bond O, OH. And fifth one is CH3, CH, Cl, C double bond O, OH. Let us take these 5 examples. So I will be categorizing over here. So first one is propanoic acid. So what type of group is this? This is a plus I group. And NO2 is over here, 2-nitropropanoic acid. It is a minus I group. And over here, F-fluorine is also a minus I group. And over here, 2 fluorines. These are also minus I groups. And chlorine is also a minus I group. So when we consider this, the minus I effect groups are NO2 greater than CN greater than C double bond O functional groups, all C double bond O greater than fluorine greater than chlorine greater than bromine and phenyl ring or aromatic ring you can consider. This is the order you can consider of for minus I groups. So now basically minus I groups increases the acidic nature, plus I groups decreases the acidic nature. So now minus I group NO2, F, 2 fluorines and 1 chlorine. So when you consider 1 nitro group, 1 fluorine group, 1 chlorine group. So nitro is the more electron withdrawing or strongest electron withdrawing you can consider. So now when we compare 1 nitro group with 1 fluorine, it is more stronger. But when we compare 2 fluorines with 1 nitro, it will become more electron withdrawing. So basically minus I groups increases the acidic nature, plus I groups decreases. More the minus I groups, more will be the acidic nature. So fourth one is with 2 fluorines. So I can consider fourth one. Ascending he has asked. So that means less acidic to more acidic. So which one is the less acidic? We know plus I groups decreases the acidic nature. So first one is with least acidic. So 1 plus I. So then it is minus I which is more stronger. Fluorine, 2 fluorines, chlorine. So chlorine and nitrogen, 1 fluorine. So this is more stronger than this, than this. So we can consider fifth one. Fifth one is with less electron withdrawing, chlorine. Then between fluorine and nitro, fluorine, so as a result 3 I can consider as the next strongest acid. Then between second one and fourth one, that is this is with 1 nitro, it is with 2 fluorine. 2 fluorine is most electron withdrawing compared to 1 nitro. So as a result, then it will be 2 with 1 nitro group, and it will be again fourth one is the most electron withdrawing, that is most stronger acid we can consider, because 2 fluorine or 2 electron withdrawing groups is over here. So as a result, 1 less than, 5 less than, 3 less than, 2 less than, 4. This is the correct order of increasing acidic behavior for carboxylic acids. So this is the first example, and let us take one more example with respect to this. So here I have given you with respect to electron withdrawing groups. There is different electron withdrawing groups. Now let us take one more question with respect to position or distance of electron withdrawing groups with respect to carboxylic acid functional group. So hope you understood this example. So if you have any queries related to any of the videos which you have watched, please feel free to comment, feel free to ask doubts in the comment section, comment box over here. And at the same time, please like this video if you understood the concept, and at the same time try to share these videos with your friends such that they will also get benefited from these particular videos. Okay, so same, arrange the following compounds in increasing order of their acidic nature. So now I will be giving you different examples. First one is CH3, CHCl, CH2, CH2, C double bond O, OH. So it is basically 4-chloro-pentanoic acid. Second one is CH3, CH2, CHCl, CH2 C double bond O OH. It is 3-chloropentanoic acid. Third one, CH2Cl, CH2 C double bond O OH. It is 5-chloropentanoic acid. Fourth one, CH3 CH2 CHCl C double bond O OH. It is 2-chloropentanoic acid. So basically I have given you 4 examples over here. So we know chlorine is a minus I group. So all are minus I groups over here. All are minus I groups. What is the role of minus I group? Minus I group increases the acidic nature. Okay, inductive effect we are studying. So inductive effect diminishes after how many carbons? Just now I have told you in the explanation of inductive effect, that is third carbon. That is, inductive effect can be seen only till third carbon, and the more effect will be when a group is nearer to the compound. So basically COOH, carboxylic acid, this hydrogen should be donated as a proton. So whenever chlorine, that is electron withdrawing group increases the acidic nature of carboxylic acid. When this electron withdrawing group is closer to COOH, that will have more acidic nature. And when chlorine group is away from COOH group, then that will be with least acidic nature. So basically minus I groups increases the acidic nature. When minus I groups are closer to carboxylic acid group, inductive effect will be more. Whereas when minus I group, that is chlorine group, is away from or further from the COOH group, then that will show very less effect on carboxylic acid acidic nature. Now, so here in the fourth example, chlorine is very closer to COOH. So as a result, it withdraws the electrons to a larger extent, and proton can be easily donated over here. And whereas in the second example, over here, it is on the third carbon, it is on the second carbon, it is on the third carbon. So it is less acidic compared to fourth one. And when you take first example, it is on the fourth carbon, 1, 2, 3, fourth carbon. So as a result, its effect will be less compared to the other two. And the last but not the least, the third example here, the chlorine is on the fifth carbon, which is farthest from the COOH. As a result, it will have very less effect on acidic nature of carboxylic acid. So basically, ascending order it is asked again. So over here, which one is the most least acidic over here? The one which is in which chlorine is farthest from the COOH. So 3 is with least acidic nature, and then 1 is with next highest, and then second one, it is with next highest, and the highest is the fourth one. Why? Because the chlorine is very closer to the COOH functional group. So since it is minus I group, its acidic nature will be, its effect on the acidic nature will be greater compared to the chlorine in the third example, where chlorine is farthest from the COOH functional group. So it is the correct order of acidic nature with respect to carboxylic acid acidic nature. So here groups are same here, same groups, chlorine groups, and number of chlorine groups are also same. But the distance from the carboxylic acid group with respect to the minus I or plus I group will also affect the acidic nature of carboxylic acids. So this is the second example with respect to the first application, that is acidic nature of carboxylic acids. Now moving on to the second application of inductive effect, that is stability of carbocation. So now moving on to the second application of inductive effect, or B you can consider, that is stability of carbocation. So I think in the last video I have already told you about carbocation. Carbocation is a type of intermediate which we are getting in organic reaction mechanism. So stability of carbocation. So how we are going to decide the stability of carbocation? Let us see. So depending upon the alkyl groups attached to a, so what is a carbocation? Carbon with positive charge is considered as carbocation. So carbon with positive charge is considered as a carbocation. And since the valency of carbon should be 4 over here, so carbon with positive charge, and over here I am writing CH3. Okay, CH3 group, methyl group, and here one more CH3 group, and here one more CH3 group. Here carbocation, carbon with positive charge, is directly linked to how many carbons over here? It is directly linked to 3 other carbons. So basically all these three methyl groups are electron donating groups. Don't try to forget that. Okay, so I have already told you that plus I groups. Plus I groups. All alkyl groups are examples for plus I groups. So here carbocation, carbon with positive charge, is directly linked to 3 other carbons. And what type of carbon they are? They are methyl groups. Methyl groups are electron donating groups or plus I groups. So basically here carbon with positive charge is attached to 3 other carbons. So it is considered as a tertiary or 3-degree carbocation. Tertiary carbocation. So this is one of the type of carbocation. Similarly, if I am taking the second one, here carbon with positive charge is attached to 2 other methyls, 2 other plus I groups basically. So one is plus I, here plus I. See, hydrogen is not a plus I group. So basically there are 2 electron donating groups in this particular carbocation, and it can be considered as a secondary or 2-degree carbocation. And next is carbon is attached to over here. One carbon with positive charge is attached to 2 hydrogens and 1 methyl group over here. So you can see here 3 methyl groups without any hydrogen, here 2 methyl groups with 1 hydrogen, here 2 hydrogens with 1 methyl group. So here carbon with positive charge, that is carbocation, is linked to directly with 1 carbon only, that is 1 plus I group. So as a result it can be considered as 1 degree or primary carbocation. And the last but not the least, carbon with positive charge is attached to 3 hydrogens. So it is nothing but CH3, methyl carbocation. Or it can be considered as super primary. You can consider, basically it is not a specific name for it, but super primary carbocation. You can call it as super primary carbocation, that is methyl carbocation. So when you see these 4 examples of carbocation, all are carbocations because carbon is with positive charge, and here carbon is with positive charge is linked to 3 other methyl groups or plus I groups, tertiary carbocation. Here carbon with positive charge is linked to 2 other methyl groups, so it is secondary carbocation. Carbon with positive charge is linked with 1 methyl group, that is 1 positive plus I group, that is considered primary carbocation. Here carbon with positive charge is not attached to any of the carbons, it is attached to only 3 hydrogens over here. So CH3 plus, that is nothing but the methyl carbocation, is a 4th example. So now when you see carbon with positive charge, I have already told you that in the very early early start of this particular session, I have told you that carbon with positive charge is with electron deficiency. That is, when a substance is with electron deficient, it will get a partial positive charge. So here carbon is getting partial, and it is getting positive charge. So basically positive charge indicates that electron deficient. So if it is electron deficient, which groups will increase the stability? Electron donating groups. Try to understand that. Electron deficient carbon is stabilized by electron donating groups, EDG, that is plus I groups. Okay, electron deficient carbon, that is nothing but carbocation, you can consider is stabilized by electron donating groups. So basically, more the number of electron donating groups on a carbocation attached to a carbocation, more will be the stability of that particular carbocation. So here 3 such electron donating groups you are observing in tertiary carbocation. 2 such electron donating groups, hydrogen is not an electron donating group, so I have not marked with an arrow over here. Whereas in the 3rd example, only 1 electron donating group you are observing. So as a result, it is with 1 electron donating, so stabilizing groups are very less over here. And here, no stabilizing groups, no electron donating groups, all are hydrogens. So as a result, more the electron donating groups, more will be the stability of that particular carbocation. And lesser the electron donating groups, least will be the stability of that carbocation. So basically, stability of carbocation can be explained with respect to plus I groups and minus I. Basically, plus I groups. So what you can say here, if I am considering this as 1, this as 2, this as 3, and this as 4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 are 4 different carbocation examples. So which one is the most stable carbocation here? Tertiary, obviously. The tertiary carbocation is the most stablest or most stable carbocation. So I'm writing it as 4. Number 4 is with most stable carbocation. I'm writing here stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation. So which one is the most stable carbocation? Number 1 is the most stable carbocation because it is with tertiary carbocation, which is most stable, then 2, which is secondary one, and then third one is the next stable, and the least stable is nothing but the fourth one is the least stable carbocation. So basically the stability of carbocation can be explained with respect to inductive effect. So this is one of the more major application of inductive effect to explain about the stability of carbocation. So basically till now we discussed about the first effect of bond polarization or bond displacement, that is nothing but the inductive effect. So let us revise it briefly. I will be revising it. Inductive effect, that is nothing but delocalization of sigma bonded electrons. Polarity produced in a compound due to delocalization of sigma bonded electrons. So due to sigma bonded electrons, polarity, or that is positive and negative charges, will be developed. So that is of two types depending upon the groups, electron donating and electron withdrawing groups. Electron donating groups are plus I groups and electron withdrawing groups are minus I groups. So depending upon that, they are categorized into two types, plus I effect and minus I effect. So this inductive effect can be clearly understood, and it is playing a very important role in deciding some of the important properties of compounds that can be studied under the heading applications. So there are two major applications. First one we studied as acidic nature of carboxylic acids, and the second application is stability of carbocation. Acidic nature of carboxylic acids is increased by minus I groups. That means minus I groups, electron withdrawing groups, increases the acidic nature, and electron donating groups, that are nothing but plus I groups, decreases the acidic nature, and I have given you different examples. And second application, stability of carbocation. Here more the electron donating groups on a particular carbocation, more will be the stability of that carbocation. So tertiary carbocation is the most stable carbocation compared with secondary, then it is primary, and the least stable carbocation is the methyl carbocation. So this is about the about today's session. So actually I have planned to continue with the second effect, but it's already, I think half an hour has already crossed. So I will be winding up today with respect to inductive effect only, that is applications of inductive effect. Hope you understood. Hope you understand this particular concept of bond polarization, that is inductive effect. If you find any difficulty, if you have any doubts related to this particular topic or the previous topics, please feel free to ask the doubts in the comment section. Please do feel free to ask your doubts in the comment section. And one more thing I want to remind you, please like this particular video if you understood the concept, and do share it with your friends such that they will get benefited, and subscribe to this particular channel and press the bell icon. Don't forget to press the bell icon, please, and do share these particular videos with your friends such that they can get benefited with respect to the concepts in organic chemistry. Thank you, Anita.